Hello, welcome to Conversations with Neuvias. My name is Carol. Today we have the lovely Marge.
Hello.
And our lovely topic today is dealing with negative energies and entities.
I think it's a good one.
Yes. So I guess we'll start with Marge with what is negative energies?
Negative energies can be
Yes.
a lot of things, right?
Yes.
You want to start with just a quick list?
Yes. Or basically what they refer to, I guess. But yeah,
Yeah.
or a listing.
Yeah.
So just I guess so. What it is just hostile energy or stagnant energy. You know, it could be something that you're dealing with a person, a place, or a thing, basically. And so you're finding this energy very disharmonious. And so that's
Mhm.
kind of how I perceive negative energy.
Yeah. I think about it as when you're talking negative and positive energies, I think negative energies lead you to pull into yourself and kind of hide, and positive energies open you up. So if you can identify the thing by, like, anger makes you tighten, sadness makes you curl up,
Mm-hmm.
uh, grief makes you, I guess that's sadness, but it makes you pull in. Anything that is contracting is a negative energy. So the negative energy from that, where you can get them, are a lot of different places too, and not necessarily from your own life, right?
Right. And sometimes that energy is not even your energy, but if you're dealing with somebody in a negative connotation, then that energy is gonna set off with your energy, and you're gonna be like, why am I feeling a certain way, or what is going on when you know you are in a harmonious energy to
Yeah.
begin with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and honestly, too, Marge, you can always tell specifically with people just by sometimes their expressions and stuff what kind of mood they're going to be in. Sometimes you
Mhm.
tell somebody's just having a bad day and they're going to let everybody in the planet know that they're
Yeah.
having a
That's
bad
true.
day.
That's true.
So, yeah, just keep that in mind when you are dealing with negative energy. You can sometimes kind of feel off by that.
Yeah. And I feel it. I try to go by my feelings rather than my visuals, because sometimes people look scary, but they're not scary people. Like, I've known so many bikers that kind of make you go, "Oh," but they're really sweet, good-hearted, wonderful people. And if you're going by the visual, you can be so wrong. You have to really open up and feel what you're experiencing as opposed to what your vision is. Um, I had a godson that was blind, and he could tell people's moods. You could tell when somebody came in that was grumpy, and he'd kind of get quiet. But if it was happy and joyful times, he was partying right along with you. So, and he wasn't going by visuals, right? He was going by the emotional feeling of the room.
Oh yeah, that's really interesting. I know with me, Marge, I could tell too with the auras. Sometimes I can see the aura, and you can immediately tell, like, oof.
Yeah.
Let me just step to the side and let them go, and just smile and wave.
Right, right. Well,
Let
and
them go
sometimes
their
that
day.
that aura can be really big and angry,
Hmm.
right? And
Oh yeah.
sometimes it's a sadness is smaller
Hmm.
and anger is bigger, right?
Right.
So it's
Yeah.
interesting.
It is
Have you ever
interesting.
noticed how so many people, I won't say everybody because that's too grand,
Hmm.
but you'll have people all having the same kind of emotional reactions all over the country at the same time? Probably the whole world at the same time,
Oh
because
yeah.
it's a consciousness connection.
I can understand that. Like a good example, Marge, would probably be the one that sits with me all the time is that when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
You know, I if I did not hear America just, I'm pretty sure the whole world, but it was just so quiet and nobody taught, like there was just nothing going on, like the planet had just stood still for a moment,
Yeah.
or it felt like that anyways.
Right. That's
So
true.
yeah, that was definitely a big upheaval, and you were just didn't know what was going on in that, 10 to 15, 20, 30 minutes of that all that happened.
True.
Yeah, so or maybe it was probably in hours. It just seemed like it was just so sudden with everything.
It felt so long to me because I lived in New Jersey, right across the water from New York at the time.
Hmm.
And where I was working, where I lived, you could see the Twin Towers when they were there. And where I was working, we could see them. So we were right there. And it felt like it was forever. It just, that day was very, very long day.
Yeah,
And it was over like 10 o'clock in the morning.
yeah,
It was crazy.
that was just an insane day.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, negative entities,
Yeah.
negative energies.
Yeah, that one's yeah, definitely one. So we'll talk about entities. So what do we consider entities to be, or energies? Do you want to add to that, Marge? And then I can.
Sure, I can add to that. I know
Okay.
I have a tendency to ignore them for the most part because they're not allowed at my house or in my area. I don't allow them. I've got the wall up, and every day I bless myself so I don't experience them, but I did in the past,
Right.
right? Where you get an entity going past you and it makes you kind of go, oh, or like going into when my grandmother's basement used to scare the bejeebus out of me. There was nothing in the basement,
Oh
but
yeah.
physical. But there was energetic things that get stuck in places, especially in the negative, that really get when you walk in a place and you feel your hackles go up. There's a reason for it.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes it's just emotions that are stuck because every emotion has a different energy and they can kind of linger in a place. And
Yeah.
so it's good to clear that out if you can.
No, I agree. I'm like you too, Marge. I've had to deal with entities in my past, especially when I started opening myself up to spirituality and just wanting to know everything. And my
Yeah.
tarot cards, like I just was like all about tarot when I started getting so excited about it. And like I said, they don't come with directions or instructions, and you open a whole can of worms when you start opening yourself up to your spirituality life. So.
Yeah, well, especially when you're first starting, like you were saying, you don't know to separate it and to make sure that it stays separated. I did the same thing when I first started. There were some weird things going on. I'm like, what the heck is this all about?
Oh yeah, I just like it's really scary for me. And my first steps with that, with dealing with those type of entities or those thought form spirits that had lingered around, the non-physical beings or however you want to call them. It's they attach yourself, and so if they see that you're in that high vibrational energy, they will try to bring you down, and it could be a person or just the environment, like Marge was saying earlier, that you're in. So
Yeah,
it can be scary. I will not sit here and say it's not scary. It can be scary, and especially when it's something you can't physically see and you don't really know what you're dealing with in that moment.
right. If you don't know how to dispel it and to get rid of it, it's really scary. Once you get used to it and figure it all out, it's
Hmm.
much easier to deal with,
Yeah.
don't you think?
Oh my God, yes. So I'm like you because over the years, as I've gotten better at my spirituality and moving up and the vibrations, I don't have that type of an energy knocking at my door anymore. So it's
Yeah,
kind of nice.
yeah. They learned it's a lost cause. You know, the Bible says, well, how does it say it? Something about the devil. Resist the devil and he will flee. And it's the same thing,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
So you put the hand up saying, nope, not allowed here. You're done. Get out.
Yeah. Like, or that one drag queen. She's, oh, I love the She's like, not today, Satan, not today.
Right? Yep.
But
It's the same thing when they were talked about vampires. You had to invite them in,
right.
right? So
Hmm.
you don't want to invite those things in by just opening up to the whole world without making sure you've got um, boundaries in place when you open yourself up.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And I find very interesting that children, in this day and age, and even when we were, just children in general, can see that type of those energies or those entities, and
Yep.
it's very interesting when, even animals like can see
Dogs,
those as
cats, and
well.
yeah, all of them. Yeah.
So, and then when sometimes you see the cat looking up at the ceiling, you're like, there's nothing there, and what's
Yeah.
going on? What are you looking at? So,
Right.
yeah. So,
Yeah. Unfortunately, when it's an animal, it kind of scares you if you're not used to it. It kind of
mhm.
scares you because you don't know what they're doing. You don't know what they're looking. What are they seeing? Something positive, or are they seeing something negative? You don't
Right.
know. You kind of have to follow their lead on it a little bit.
Yes. I know. I've had my dog, in the middle of the night start barking, and then I'm like, "What are you barking at? There's nothing here." But maybe I'm not seeing or sensing something. But when they're just immediately just getting up from their sleep and start barking, and there's nothing near, you don't hear any sound or movement, it kind of makes you go like, "Hmm."
Yeah, unsettling.
Yes, very unsettling.
Definitely.
So, Mark, I guess since we've talked about the two, what do you think people can do when they're dealing with either the negative energy or the entities? There's different practices that are, or cleansings, I guess you could say. What do you think people could do?
Depending on your situation, I do sage my house or bless my house uh, pretty frequently just to make sure it's staying on the higher level of things. But if you're out and about, sometimes you're in a situation where you've been around somebody or around a place that's not good. It's got negative energies. Make sure you wash your hands when you leave, and or when you get home, wash your hands, change your shoes, get rid of it. Just wash it away and let it know it's not allowed in your psyche. You can't absorb those emotions, even from loved ones or other people out in public or wherever. You can absorb those energies, or you can just let them go. And that's, I used to say, be the duck, let it flow off your back, you know?
Oh, I know.
But refusing to accept it, refusing to take it is a big part of it.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I mean, like Marge is saying, you can definitely smudging is a good one. You can get your sage or your white sage, whichever one you use. Be sure when you are doing your smudging, though, you're opening windows so that energy is flowing out.
Let it out. Yep.
Yeah, and if you can't open your windows, then open that door.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Salt and vinegar is another one, but leaving vinegar in a bowl is a good one too, because you leave it there for 3 days, it'll suck a lot of that energy in, and then just throw it out the door. So
Yeah.
yeah.
There's so many things that you could do. We could do a whole hour on different things, but the biggest thing is your energy can combat that other energy, right?
Oh my, yeah, for sure, Marge, for sure. I mean, we can definitely have a whole nother topic with just, okay, this is how you take care of yourself.
Right? Yeah. We probably should do some of those.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I so agree, Marge. Well, I guess we won't get into this because, like I said, then this will probably be a good 3 hour topic.
Right?
So I guess we'll talk about the negative energies. So um, with just what's the word I want to use? Um, when you are in that, I guess, energy of being in a negative environment or you're feeling negative, there are things that you can do to, I guess, alleviate that. And, we did talk about a few
Yeah.
there.
Wash your hands, take a deep breath, do all the things we always telling you to do. Go out and put your feet on the ground and hug a tree or take a deep breath. All of those things work together towards making your energy higher and less susceptible to
Hmm.
absorbing the negative energies.
No, I agree. I agree, Marge. one thing I want to do add, since we are talking about this, just be if you're still feeling either distressful, Marge, or you start having suicidal thoughts or hallucinating with either dealing with the negative energies, you know, it might be some, you might need to get seek some mental health. So I just
Yeah.
want to
Or
stress that, because,
medical.
or medical, yeah. So just because we're talking about negative energy here, and if you it's just a safety precautious that one wanted to stress out there as well, because some people might take this to, well, I'm feeling this kind of way doesn't mean am I in a negative energy because of
Hmm.
your so I'm just trying to make sure that you disassociate the difference from what
Yeah.
we're talking about. So
There are a lot of medical conditions that can lead you into a very stressful, anxiety ridden situation where just negative, negative, negative. Thyroid issues, diabetes,
mhm.
those kinds of things can add to your situation. So make sure you're getting checked out if you're seeing a trend.
Yes, because like you said, I just wanted to stress that here as well, just because like I said, since we are in the process of talking about energies, it's not the same if you're constantly feeling a certain way. So
Yeah, yeah.
but speaking of energies, there is one technique that you can use during energy. If you picked up negative energy somewhere, is energy healing. Reiki, acupuncture is some stuff. Crystals are used. Like I said, there's so many different techniques out there that you can utilize as well. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but I won't probably speak into it because my job, like I said, there's
We
so
could go
much that we
forever
could
on
just
it.
keep going and going and going.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, um, how can you? I guess we can talk about Marge about how we can determine the difference between the two versus like if you feel like am I dealing with negative energy or am I dealing with an entity?
I think that when you're talking about an entity, you were talking about disembodied entities, you can feel it in a specific place,
Mm-hmm.
usually. Now, it doesn't mean that it stays in that place, but it's centrally located. You can, if you sit and you close your eyes, you can feel it, almost like somebody's standing in the other room or behind you, right?
Right.
That's how I've seen in the past that you can identify an entity versus just the general energy of a situation.
Yeah, no, I think the same too, Marge. I know with negative energy, um, to me, it's like a different feeling, or like we talked earlier, like a vibration. It's
Hmm.
either feeling heavy or a little stagnant, and you kind of like the hangman, you're feeling stuck or suspended. I could say the hangman card is what I was
Right.
referring to. Um, Feeling negative, your stress levels start rising. Your emotions start going off the hook because you can't really control them because you're just either upset or angry all the time. So those are just kind of some negative energies that kind of hit us,
Hmm.
I guess, all at once sometimes. So
Right. And
yeah.
one of the things that you can do to kind of reduce that, because it's almost like your body has a bank every day, right?
Hmm.
Of
Right.
of how much it can take. Whether that's good or bad is irrelevant. Is how much can fit in your bucket of your day. And so if you reduce the negative, like watch doom scrolling or watching the news or even um, movies that are violent or scary or stuff like that, you're
Right.
reducing the amount of tolerance towards that stuff, right? And it just
Right.
adds to the situation. And so the more you fill up your bucket with more positive, uplifting things, the
Hmm.
better off you'll be. So I limit my exposure to certain people, certain newscast. Well, I don't watch the news anymore. I've stopped. But certain things that you get exposed to in the media, I've basically eliminated 90% of it just because it's not serving me.
Right.
in a good way.
No, I agree with you, Mark. I'm the same way. After the news never says anything positive. There's never anything rarely that comes out of the news that's positive. Everything's always there's something wrong. There's something wrong or something
Yeah,
going on and it's not good.
yeah,
And so putting that, like you said earlier, putting that energy into it, that's just going to bring you, an emotional or physical discomfort. Your body can only tolerate so much of that, and so you start feeling fatigue. You start feeling your anxiety levels pop up. There's a
eating different, sleeping different.
yeah. So
Yeah,
those experiences can definitely drag anybody down. It could be the environment you live in, the relationship you're in. All of that can correlate with what we're talking about as far as like the negative energy.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Entities, though, Marge, on that aspect, like we were talking, you said non-physical beings, I know there was a movie that came out a long time ago about entities. There's probably so many movies out there about entities that have probably influenced us. And, well, what is an entity, or, was that an entity? So,
right.
such as spirits or ghost or um, anything metaphysical in a presence form.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So yeah, so that's why I'm just saying, negative energy. The way I see it, Marge, if you're always in a negative energy, eventually I think you're gonna grasp that entity because they love that type of energy. So an entity can easily show if you're angry all the time and you're frustrated and you're just mad at everybody and you're just angry, and so I think entities will
I'd be attracted to you.
yeah, latch
Yeah,
onto that.
yeah. And the opposite is also true, right? The more uplifted you are, the more positive entities and energies you'll attract. The world is a mirror.
Yes.
It just mirrors you back to you. And so whatever you're attracting is going to depend on where your focus is.
Yes. So I would say too, Marge, like even if you're feeling if it's is this personal or is external,
Yeah.
energy, and so I guess depending on how you're taking that is how you need to probably find a resolution or approach to that in a different manner so you're not feeling some kind of way. Like
Yeah.
like I say, even just hearing music sometimes, Marge, just simple music, you can be not put you in either a great mood or a really bad funk. So
Yeah. Right. That's true.
yes.
I remember back in the long time ago when I was in high school, Mom was like, "Why are you listening to that crap? It's not good for your mind."
Yeah.
you know?
hmm I know. I especially like heavy metal and rock. Now, there's some of the heavy metal is just oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's
Some of it's great, but some of it's not. And you have to just go by the feel of it.
mhm. No, for sure. I know where I work at. Our music, everybody gets to play their own music. I think I've said this many times, and so sometimes my energy is just really great, and then all of a sudden I'm hearing all this hard, heavy metal banging.
Just
So
stopped.
it just puts, yeah, it just puts me in a damper. Oh,
Yeah. I
yes.
think you're back.
Okay, it just puts me in a damper. Is what I was
Yeah.
talking about with heavy metal. So
Yeah. And like I said, there's a couple of guys that live across the street from me that have a band, and they do heavy metal. But they also do some stuff that reminds me of Evanescence. And
oh,
it's
I love
like,
that.
wow, it's really good.
I love
Surprising.
yeah.
So it just depends on the feeling of all those things. Yeah, that certain ones they just pound, 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 and are negative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I agree. Walmart, I would say in conclusion, just to understanding the difference between um, negative energy and also entities. I think we did a really good sum up part of that. Like I said, I would have loved to get in, well, what can you do about that? And we did give you a little bit more clarification on that, but I think that would be a good podcast to help with people um, in those types of situations.
Yeah, we could do that next week. We'll check back with that next week.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because I was like, I was ready to just lay him down today, but I was like, no, it better not. Cause
Yeah, we could end up here a very long time.
yeah, so I won't, I'll cut it short today, but yeah, so anyway, I guess at the end of the day, if you're feeling troubled or you feeling like somebody's always looking at you or you're getting a bad energy around you or you're not feeling good about something, be just take into consideration that you may have picked up negative energy somewhere or an entity may have latched onto you because they do like energy that's not the greatest energy
Yeah.
at all. So, but anyways, Marge, I don't have anything else to add to this tonight. Do you have anything?
I don't. I think we've covered it pretty well about what it is and how to recognize it. So
Yes.
next week, check back and we will talk about how to get rid of it all.
Yes, for sure. Because that would be another long podcast in itself.
Yes, it
So.
will.
But my name is Carol. Thank y'all for visiting us today. You can visit us at www.neuvias.com. And as always,
I'm March. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave us a comment if you have any questions or any solutions that we didn't talk about today.
yes. Till next time,
Thanks.
but yes. Much love and light.
Love and light. Love y'all. Bye bye.